Check your fly. Fly tying essentials. Foam Beetle. Hey, did you know that I teach community ed fly tying classes all around the Twin Cities? It's true. And the first fly we tie in class is a foam beetle. Here's some pink ones that I like to use for sunnies. We are going to tie one with a green body. So let's get started. This is a size 10 dry fly hook. I am going to use 6/0 uni thread. This is some fire orange color. I like to use orange thread when I'm teaching classes so my students can see what I'm doing. You can use any color you want. I have laid down a nice base of thread right there. And next I need to trim out some foam for the body. This is some Evazote foam. It's 1/8 of an inch thick. Floats nice and high. This is black. I like to cut a piece that's about the same width as the hook gap. And then I always put a little notch on one end, just so there's less bulk when I tie it in. I'm going to hold this nice and flat right on top of the hook shank. And I'm going to grab it with my thread there at the front and work my thread all the way back to the bend. And I just cover that up with a nice base of thread so that it's in there nice and tight. The body on this foam beetle is some stuff called straggle string. This is a very small chenille-like yarn. This is some olive stuff. Like I mentioned before, you can use pink or brown or tan, any color you want. I just tie it in the back. And now I'm going to wrap it forward just like I would any body material. Each wrap right in front of the previous wrap as I work my way up towards the thread. Once I get up to my thread, I'm just going to hold it with my right thumb and forefinger and tie that off with 3 or 4 wraps of thread and trim that off as close as I can. The next thing to do is to pull the foam over the top of the body. This is a very easy procedure. Just hold it nice and tight on top and do several nice tight wraps of thread so it stays in place. Here's what it looks like from the other side. Just going to fold that straight over, pinch it down nice and tight with my left thumb and forefinger, and I'm going to tie that in with several tight wraps of thread right in front of that straggle string body. All we have left to do on this fly is to put a couple of legs on here. This is just some barred rubber legs I have in like a brown and black color. I usually tie the far side on first. As you can see, I just put it on the side of the foam and tied it in with 2 or 3 wraps of thread, and I'm going to do the same on my side. I got to make sure I don't bind those legs down when I'm going around the body. That looks pretty good. Do one last wrap of thread. I'm going to pull the foam and everything out of the way, move my thread up to the front, and do my whip finish. Two or 3 whip finishes right there is all it needs. And now I can trim my thread. Now our foam beetle is pretty much done, except we need to trim some stuff. First I'll trim that foam, make a little foam head in the front. Now I usually trim the front legs together. So I grab both of the front legs on both sides of the body and trim those kind of short, maybe 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch long. And then I will take the back legs and trim those also together a little bit longer, maybe 1 inch or so. And our foam beetle is done. check your fly.